Hey everybody, it is Garrett, and I'm coming at you with another video. This one is again being recorded, thought of on the spot, but today I wanted to go ahead and talk about my undergraduate experience. I finished my Bachelor of Arts in English/Liberal Arts from Adams State University back in December of 2021. It's right here. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about that experience, including my overall college experience, and kind of just the things that transpired throughout that journey. So I finished high school in May of 2014, and had my diploma mailed to me. And then after that, it was talked about that I should probably go to college, more specifically to community college. And so the community college that I went to initially was College of Southern Nevada. At the time, I was living between a mix of like Henderson and Las Vegas, and so my experience sort of gravitated me towards going to that community college. University is very expensive, much more expensive than community college, so it made more sense to just do my prerequisites that way. So I had started in 2014 by majoring in nothing, actually music, and then I switched over to anthropology. I just had a genuine interest in the field, still kind of do. Right now I'm currently getting a refresher on linguistics and reading a book on linguistics, but otherwise I had done a lot of my prerequisites when I was at community college, done an internship for the for some state department in Nevada, and it was an archaeology thing. But I went ahead and did the anthropology work and studies and whatnot, and then ran into some financial difficulties about 2018, or between 2017 to 2018. And in 2018, I had moved back to Colorado, and I had started thinking about what exactly I was going to do. And the only thing I really wanted to do, in the midst of being a convenience store cashier and crappy restaurant employee trying to make doughy pizza, was to go back to college. So I went ahead and applied to Adams State. I had initially planned on applying to Adams State back in 2014 and actually attending then, but that obviously did not wind up happening, and probably for the best at this point, but let me continue. So in 2018 I applied, got accepted to Adams State, started getting all my work done. Initially I was going to go for a business degree because I thought it seemed practical, but you know, if you can tell by the fields of study I've chosen, anthropology and English/liberal arts, I'm not exactly what you would call a very practical, linear, business-minded thinker here. So after that I switched over to my English degree and spent 2 years studying English literature and discussing it in a classroom setting and writing a lot of papers about English literature, really just kind of fostering my own self-growth in these classes as well as in the reading and writing that I was doing outside of the classes. That's where I get the poem The Moon and Me from, honorable mention. I had worked on that during, I think I worked on that during a fall semester. I think it was the fall of 2020. I don't exactly remember, but yeah. So the English degree, for me, I did it for 2 years, and I will say my classes were very enjoyable. The English program and the department was very small, and I really only took classes between 3 professors for my entire tenure at Adams State. All wonderful professors. Their classes were very illuminating. Discussions were usually great. They had us as students do our own discussion leads, which allowed me to start growing into my experience in like instructing classrooms. But I think the most important thing that I got was it became very important for me to sort of work out my writing ideas and viewing literature not necessarily from like a writer's point of view, but viewing it from a more analytical point of view. As I had explained in a previous video, or in the previous video to this one, I had difficulties with remembering things and comprehending things that I was reading. unless there was some structural component to it, or it was more outside in views. So writers like H.G. Wells and Isaac Asimov, they kind of fit that bill for that. And so, what had really helped me through the English program was that I was able to take ideas and be more analytical with the writing that I was doing, um, in relation to the um, literature that I was reading and discussing. Sorry if you can hear people; they're talking. Anyways, for instance, I wrote a final English paper for my English 203 class on the economics of the road by Cormac McCarthy. So more like the economics of like an apocalyptic downturn, things like that. For one, I wrote on Shakespeare's impact in different parts of the world, how Shakespeare's plays can be made universal depending on how you recontextualize them, because there isn't really a whole lot of stage direction beyond just the lines of dialogue, and very few scant amounts of description to sort of push a plot along. That's why they're so easy to translate to different cultural and different cultural contexts. But so I spent a lot of time uh, writing papers about those things. I wrote a paper about Native American song lyrics and poems. Let's see, what else did I write about? Um, I wrote about Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which I still reference to this day. "'Tis an ancient mariner," but yeah. Um, and yeah, that was just my overall experience with my undergrad in English literature. I will say mine probably differentiated from a lot of people because I was taking my English literature classes during the pandemic, first and foremost. And during the pandemic, when things got really bad, classes tended to switch to online over Zoom. Just as well as that, we had to wear masks for 2 years. Uh, Aside from the horrible, gut wrenching pain that was derived from people needlessly passing away during the pandemic, um, it did have some form of benefit for me in pursuit of my degree. I don't know necessarily that the workload became lighter, though I think it did partially. But I have a preference for living alone and a preference for having my own space. And so it was nice that when the pandemic hit, people sort of emptied out of the college and I was just left to my own devices. I would do my weekly large pizza runs, load up a movie or a video to watch, or I'd play video games all day. It was a pretty good experience for me. But yeah, so I finished in December of 2021 with my English degree, and it was one of the best times of my life. I will say that, in speaking to that, on the more practical end of things, I do actually owe a fair deal of money. Student loans are no joke, but at the same time, I don't know that I would have actually changed anything that I did. Like I said, I really just enjoyed my studies overall. It was very much a fun time for me just to pick apart an experience that I don't think I would have been able to have otherwise elsewhere. Adams State University, and particularly Alamosa, are very isolated in terms of their location. And while I had read and come across all sorts of things online that would, sort of demarcate Adams State and the Valley, I found the Valley itself to be very comforting for me. I felt that that demarcation actually served to help me enjoy the Valley more, because if other people are going to make fun of a place that focuses so heavily on a very lived experience with agriculture and small town living, then I would rather be in support of that than support anyone else's assertions that those places aren't good to really study in. Alamos is great. Adams State is great. So yeah. Overall, if you are considering attending for any college for an English degree, I would suggest it. It was a great experience for me. Like I said, I do owe a fair deal of money. I am still figuring that stuff out, but that's just the way of life nowadays. Unfortunately, I think student loans and debt are just ingrained in our culture because just no one can figure out how to pay for things anymore. I'm not going to go into the subject on student loans and government stuff. That's another video. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, have yourselves a nice day.